Hello, my name is Lauren Simon, and today I'll be giving you an overview of our third grade activity, I Need a Magnet. You will get an overview of the materials you'll be receiving, the standards that this lesson plan corresponds to, recommended setup of the room, group sizes of kids, how many adult volunteers you will need, any tips and tricks, and also my contact information. The written lesson plan will have the specific details of each activity. I'll briefly go over all of the supplies you'll be getting in your kit. Station 1 is the bobblehead challenge. Some kids don't know what bobbleheads are, so it's good to go over with them. It's also one of the more challenging ones. Anything that the students can do to get the head to move on their bobble toy is acceptable. Station 2 is our water bottle challenge. I've learned that it's better not to put water in the water bottle, but to pretend that there's water in there. Station 3 covers what happens when a screw is knocked into a downspout. You have to assemble these two parts together. There is also going to be a strong magnet that is for adult use only. It will be very clearly labeled. I would tell the students that if they can figure out a way they want to use it, you can implement it for them. If you give it to them, there's a real chance that they'll pinch their fingers. Usually they end up sticking the magnet to the side, and you can use that to pull the screw out of the downspout. Station 4 is the maze challenge. We've learned that magnetic cars don't really have enough metal in them nowadays to move around. So there are small nuts that the students can use as example cars, and they can draw their own maze on the whiteboards. Station 5 involves getting a toy out of the Rice Krispie Treats box. The toy is a pink metal bell that students will use to get out. Students will ask to eat the Rice Krispie Treats, and of course, I'd encourage them not to eat it as it's very gross. As you can imagine, this can tend to be one of the more messy stations, so if you've got an adult, I'd stick them on this station. Station 6 is building sculptures out of all of the materials that are provided. It's a pretty creative open play station. Included in the box are some extra supplies, including nuts, bolts, some yarn, some other magnets, and you can use these in the stations as you see fit. The standard for this lesson plan is 3PS24, define a simple design problem that can be solved by applying scientific ideas about magnets. The prep work that you will need to do for this activity is fairly minimal. You will need to recruit a few parent volunteers, decide how you want to break up your classroom into groups, and also how you want to arrange your classroom. These can also be done the morning of, aside from recruiting volunteers. There are 6 stations for this activity. Students can cycle through them, or you can have them work through just a few and use the worksheet that comes with the activity. Depending on your room shape, I would recommend that students either work on the floor or at a few tables that are pushed together. You want to have enough space for groups of 4 to 6 students to work and spread out at one time. Your recommended group size will depend on how many students you have in your class. You have 6 stations, so you can merely divide your class number by 6 and come up with the optimal number of students. If there is a parent volunteer available to rotate between every 1 or 2 stations, that would also be helpful. Briefly, I'll be going over the tips and tricks that I have picked up running this activity in multiple classrooms. There are a few different ways you can run this activity. There is an optional worksheet that's included. If you use it, it will encourage more design thinking, but I would really only do it at 1, maybe 2 stations. You can also have the students rotate through all 6 stations without using the worksheet, or you can have them work through just a few and kind of get into thinking on a deeper level about the design solutions. How you use it is entirely up to you. Prior to starting the rotation of the stations, I would also talk about sharing, working as a team, and listening to other people's ideas. The social challenges of working in a group are a good thing to talk about ahead of time. As a group, it's also good to touch base about what the students know about magnets, can remember, their uses. It's a great discussion that will help the students get started thinking about the activities before they actually get started. If you're rotating through all of the stations, students really need only between 5 and 7 minutes at each station, with maybe a minute or 2 warning before it's time to clean up. If you have any further questions or need assistance with your kit, feel free to contact me. My email is lsimon@tualatin.gov, and my phone number is 503-691-3077. Please make sure you have also reserved your kit online at www.tualatinmakerspace.org.